Bitcoin is rallying to heights never thought possible, more than $1,000 from yesterday's video. Oh my God, the picture has all changed and everything is different. Now it is our time. It is our time for Sexors. That's right. You can get some Sexors now as Bitcoin has rallied up over 1.25%. Holy fucking moly. Anyways, we'll start this one off with a revisiting of the daily statistics. Then we'll get into a couple of signals here and revisit some of those setups for the sort of short-term into medium-term look. As far as Thursdays goes, it actually is most likely day to close negatively out of any weekday, with over 56% of all Thursdays since this bull market began in 2023 closing negatively. But as always, we're more interested in the average gain and average loss for those Thursdays. And for the gaining Thursdays, Bitcoin actually on average has gained just under 2%, which would put Bitcoin effectively at 117,300 to put a number on that. And to the downside, if Bitcoin were to turn down from here, the area of interest to the downside would be just above 113, I suspect. Now, I probably would be a little more biased towards the upside right here. And in fact, we actually do have an upward signal to correlate with that. We can look at the daily time frame here for CME, and we can see that there is potential for a hidden bullish divergence pending today's closure, which is looking like it's probably going to be likely. Would need to more or less effectively close above about 116.5. That's for CME, so there's a premium over spot price action. But if that does happen, we will see both CME and spot price action fire off hidden bullish divergence. And I do think that this move could carry on a little bit higher. If we go back to CME, you can see that we do have a downwards trend line here coming in from the last few highs, which would be coming in effectively around 118 to 120-ish region. That's again specific to CME. For spot price action, the similar regions would be perhaps somewhere around here for an area of interest, perhaps as high as like maybe just a shade under 120 to perhaps 117,500. Again, that daily positive return somewhere in that blue box, effectively is fair game. But I want to remind ourselves here now in a more serious and sincere tone that I don't think that this is a time to rush into position. I think that even if Bitcoin does get around these regions, history will show that this is just very unlikely to see new highs from this current low that Bitcoin is seemingly putting in here earlier in this week. I suspect the reason why I believe that is because of this setup here, the same one that we've been referencing several times now. We even went over several different time frames. It initially started off with the 12-hour time frame. That one already opened and closed, and that called the nice move down to about 112. But now we have the same setup here on a daily time frame, and the setup is this: the red moving average crossing to the downside of the yellow moving average has propelled a nice move down to that green moving average in a profitable manner, 83.33% of the time throughout this bull market in 2023. I actually changed this one a little bit because I found that this was a slightly better setup. So that is effectively 10 out of 12 times that this has actually happened again on CME. Now, when I say in a profitable manner, I mean in a profitable manner, as you can see over here and here. Even in the event of a technically unprofitable manner, we do still see price action come down to that green 55 EMA. So the reason why I am actually just not really in a rush to kind of chase a rally like this personally, and of course you are free to do what the fuck you want to do, is because anytime that we have seen this setup, again, where that red moving average crosses the downside of the yellow moving average, Bitcoin, can rally from there, as we saw in the most recent iteration, actually. But you'll notice that throughout this whole bull market, not once Bitcoin has made a new high before coming down to that green moving average, not once in this whole bull market. So again, it can pop up close to it. We see this one over here from June, it popped up to like 111. The prior high was 113 or 114, somewhere around there. Close, but no cigar. And yes, did come down later. And that was more or less at the same price point. Technically, this again would have been counted as a loss. I'm not saying that this is like a setup to be played or anything like that. It's more or less for general YouTube directional analysis. If you play it, just as it is, I think that it's highly unoptimized. Same shit over here, right? Well, this one obviously was just straight down, so that's that's just straight down. This one over here did rally as well, kind of close to that prior high. I mean, not super close like the most recent one, but yeah, did have a nice little rally from the actual signal and did come down later. This one ended up being profitable. This one over here pretty much hit it all in one go, as did this one, 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 as did many of these. Here we have another one that is similar to perhaps what we're going to be witnessing here as well. Rally in between. It takes some time and then it comes back down. This one over here, again, this one, no rally, actually just straight down. And yeah, that takes you throughout our whole bull market. So let's just look at the ones that did have a rally in the interim and measure the amount of days that it took to play out. This one here took 19 days from the actual initial signal firing off. So that's, I mean, just under 3 weeks, right? I mean, that's kind of a long time. So that's 19 days. This one over here was how long? This one was 15 days, or sorry, no, 18 days. I apologize about that. This one over here was 21 days. Okay, I'm starting to notice a trend, and I think that's all that we have actually as far as those iterations go. Or yeah, we got that one. So around 3 weeks, maybe give or take a couple of days there. On the higher end, we had 21 days. On the lower end, we had 19 days, I think it was, or 18 days. This one more or less just fired off right here. If we were to put that in perspective, assuming that this rally does continue, that could put us all the way out until the end of next week. Or is that the end of next week? No, sorry, that's 2 weeks from now. Holy shit. Yeah, that'll be 2 weeks from now. That is crazy. That seems like a very long time. But yeah, Bitcoin can spend its time, I don't know, maybe it looks something like this, pops up here, does another one of those tabletops, then comes back down, fulfills a test of that green moving average. Can that green moving average be much higher than where it is right now? Yeah, I mean, if you kind of draw it out, maybe it's somewhere around here, which is more or less the current low. So maybe Bitcoin just double bottoms at its current low, and that's all good in the hood. Yeah, I mean, definitely possible. It might overshoot a little bit, as we have seen in the past as well. But if you're more of a long-term investor, then perhaps that's a good value play. And like I said, I am making an assumption here that this is going to be one of those iterations where it does pop back up. Of course, the day is young. The day is young. We have just under 6.5 hours left to go in today's daily for CME. So, it could be possible that Bitcoin just pops back down below 116 before end of day, kind of negating what I'm saying right here and saying, hey, this one wants to play this one out sooner rather than later. But yeah, just in the event that it does not, well, yeah, that's something that we could be looking at. And I do think that is relevant just because, this is the boring part of the market. We're in fucking August. Like, when does anything ever happen in August? Well, funny you mentioned that. Last year we had a massive dump-ola in early August, and we kind of had a dump-ola in the early portion of August this year too, but percent-wise wasn't anything super crazy. So anyways, my point is, yeah, I mean, sometimes stuff does happen, but more or less the month in its entirety is usually very minimal from open to finish. As is the first couple weeks of September. So, we might be waiting around for a while. The back half of September is typically when things start to get a lot more interesting. But for right now, if it ends up playing out something like this, I mean, that's, that wouldn't be unexpected, I suppose. Anyways, I completely forgot to bring up my damn notes. My notes are leaving me right now, fucking bastard. This is I actually have a second screen now. I just haven't opened it up, but let me get back into it. Okay, yeah. And then also, still kind of rounding out just the more long-term wait and see approach, at least for myself. Maybe I'm just talking to myself at this point, but look, again, we got the same shit going on here. Just for reference, higher term timeframes more or less are angled to the downside in terms of stochastic momentum. Yes, the daily timeframe is going to flip up here for a moment, it does seem like, but it's pivoted at 114,850. So maybe it has a couple days of up and then turns back down. We do see that quite often because the other higher term timeframes are all angled to the downside still. Here's your 2-day time frame, which closes tonight. That one is still angled to the downside as long as Bitcoin's below 120. 3-day time frame also angled to the downside as long as Bitcoin's below 119,600. 5-day time frame also to the downside, closing tonight as well. So we'll continue down, assuming Bitcoin finishes the day below 121.5. 10-day time frame will also cross the downside if Bitcoin finishes the day anywhere here or lower. 118.5 is a pivot, and that one again is closing today. And then tomorrow we got the weekly, which continues down below 121.6. And all the higher term timeframes are, pretty far away from closing. So, the daily is kind of the odd man out. That to me tells me it's a bit of a fool's gold signal right there. But, could make it that Bitcoin spends a bit of time, grinding out this high and then perhaps comes back down, fulfills that test of the green moving average. That's when I become a lot more interested perhaps in adding to long-term positions. But in this case here, this is, unless if you're like a short-term trader, I think it's just an uninteresting move. No need to rush into position here or anything like that. But, I also want to differentiate myself from a lot of the people who are talking about like sub 100 prices. On this channel, we have not spoken about any like super significant downside, just, a corrected period right here, probably dragging out throughout the the rest of summer. That should be expected, right? But, I want to reiterate that this isn't we are not, or at least as of right now, I still don't think that the highs are in for Bitcoin. This does not look like a high to me. It looks like a high, but not a macro high to me. So, it's going to take its time, I suspect. And maybe things start to get more interesting in the very end of portion of this month, or perhaps, and more likely, in September is what I'd guess. So it's a lot of waiting. We're not even through the first week of fucking August, huh? Great. Fucking great. Or are we? Yeah. No. I don't know. Anyways, I can't count the days. That's too difficult. Anyways, let's check in on the quantum wave bands. I'm curious what they've done. Where are my wave bands, you bastard? Show me where you are. Seriously, show me the formioli. Okay. Well, apparently they're not there. let me bring it back up. See if they've taken any trades during this corrective period. Let's see. Come on, plop it on my screen, you fucking bastard. Oh, you fucking bastard, TradingView. A runtime error. What? You don't have strong enough calculations to handle the quantum wave bands? Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic, TradingView. Yeah, honestly, TradingView really is pathetic. They make any and every change to just make their service worse. They have a team of people and they all sit in a fucking room together. This is my theory. They all sit in a room together and they're like, hey, we have a lot of users on our website. How do we get less users? Well, let's just make our shit worse. Great idea, sir. You're hired. That is what it seems like to me. Equity curve continues up. It's taken a couple of nice winners in the past couple days as well. Long in the low over here, long in this low over here, and long in around this low again. Sometimes not the best timer of entries, but I look at it as more of a call to action. Again, this is a great, in my opinion, sort of training wheels for newer people to just not get fucking wrecked. Look, if you don't have a signal here, you probably shouldn't be rushing into shit. You probably shouldn't be doing anything at all. Most people should probably just be buying and holding, to be honest. But yeah, for the people who are intent on actually learning, you can put on the trading wheels with something like this, and hey, shit. How many people can even say that they trade better than this to begin with? Well, who knows? Who knows? Maybe everyone on the internet. Very few people in real life. No, I don't know. But while I'm getting sidetracked here, I do want to let you know that, of course, you can try out this script as well as any one of our other scripts with a 7-day risk-free trial in the link description below for Teachable. And like I did make the announcement yesterday for the Trade Like a Quant program, I'm doing a massive overhaul on it. It's a little bit of a secret announcement right now, but because there's this market is so slow, and I figure there's very few people watching and listening right now. Only the truest of TA nerds. I want those people to know in advance that I will be raising the price significantly. Either close to double or double, but I also be adding about triple to quadruple the amount of content starting September, which I'm very excited about. I want it to be like the one-stop shop for everything that I know about trading, including, spot, derivatives, long-term, short-term, options, mindset, basically everything. I want to have everything in one place. And yeah, we shall leave things off on that note. As always, I want to wish everyone the best of the best. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully tomorrow.